George Ethan, the yoga workshop, The Warriors of Yoga. This is brought to you in part by Wilkes Recovery Revolution. These classes are available to you every single Saturday at 10 a.m. At the last Saturday of every month, we have a 2-hour long workshop. Today's workshop is about the foundations of the warrior. I'm going to teach you some history and some information about that. I also will let you know this class will be about approximately 1.5 hours to 2 hours, depending on participation. And we have a lot of awesome stuff in store for you today. I log in 5 minutes early for each class just to give everyone an opportunity to tune in, to get settled. But there will be some movements in the second half of the course. So just be prepared to do a little bit of yoga. If not, feel welcome to observe. But this is an open forum. Feel welcome to communicate and give me feedback if you like. And I'm just here to teach you and to give you an excellent experience this morning. So thank you for being here today. I'm going to give everyone an opportunity to log in who's going to participate today. And then we'll get started. Good morning and welcome. Hey, Brittany, good morning. I hope you are having a wonderful day. I actually thought about you this morning, wondering, I was like, I wonder if Brittany's going to be here today. Well, I'm glad you're here. Hope you're having a great day. So you're at work. Okay. Only as you can. Today's more informative. I'll break down this the outline later on, but it's going to be half lecture and discussion, and the other half is going to be movement. It's going to be very straightforward, where I do want to be able to break down just some history and the good stuff that is the foundation of yoga. Aw, yes. And it's not even have to be my yoga. I mean, yoga in general in the morning, it can really make all the difference. So I have a morning routine where I do a little bit of yoga in the morning before I do anything else. And that little bit of spinal flexion, core strengthening, arm strengthening, and breath work, it is my foundation for the whole day. And I feel differently than if I were not to do that. But that's very sweet of you, Brittany. You're awesome. Oh, featuring my cats this morning. Say hi, Sonny. He's a sweetie. And Luna, come here, girlie. Yeah. This is the mama cat to this cat. Mama, baby cat. They're cute. But they will let you know if they're hungry. All right, a couple more minutes. I know. My orange cat, Sonny, when he wants petted, he takes his paw and he just goes like, he just looks like he's like kneading, but not on his surface. He's just like, love me. Oh, we got 4 viewers. Good morning, folks. Thank you so much for being here today. We got an awesome workshop ahead. Is any of y'all going to Merrillfest this weekend? Yes, no? I will be going there directly after this to volunteer at Parking Lot D if you want to pay me a visit. And then I'll be going to the actual shows to see my family. My niece and my brother's family are there. Oh, and for people who are tuning in later on, This video will be saved and available to you anytime you like. So if you miss out on today's workshop and you want to tune in, just click a like on the video and save it, and it will be available to you whenever you like. But without further ado, it is 10 a.m. Let's get started. We're going to go ahead and find a nice, comfortable seat to settle in. Find your sitting bones nice and glued to where you are. If you are not on a mat, you may want to sit on a mat or a comfortable surface. And we're going to start with the breath. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Long breath out. And settle the nerves. Find some calm this morning. Breathe in through the nose. Find integrity and length in the spine. Long breath out. Take one more deep breath in. Fill up the belly area here with the breath. Maybe place your left palm there. And out. A couple more deep breaths in, finding length with each inhale in the spine. Sigh it all out. Let something go. Find a lift and energy in the front side body as you breathe in. Find downward energy in the back body as you breathe out. Be mindful with the breath. Continue breathing deep. And out. Let's do two more. Breathing in. Nice deep breath. And out. One more deep breath in. And out through the nose. All right. Continue to breathe deeply at your own pace. Let go of the day so far. Letting go of your to-do list. Letting go of what no longer serves you in this present moment. Allowing yourself to completely and totally relax where you are. If you feel tension in the body, notice and let it go. Using the breath as your tool here, as your anchor. If your mind wanders, bring it back to the breath. Relaxing your shoulders and your back muscles. Finding integrity in the spine, nice long spine. Set an intention for your practice or your day. Can be just to be here. Your intention can be to learn something new or to find something new. My intention is to grow, to find nuances, to find growth. Let it sink in, breathe it in, take a deep breath in, fill yourself with love. Hold it and release. You can open your eyes. Good morning, good morning. Thank you for being here today. I'm going to go over our itinerary for today. Again, this class is an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending. We started with a little meditation. I'll introduce myself if you haven't met me before in a second. I'm also going to go over the who, what, when, where, and why of warrior or Virabhadrasana for yoga practice. And then I'm going to go over my overall outline goal. I'll provide some examples of warriors. I will provide you some stories of where the warriors come from, or the concept of warrior being a terminology in yoga. I will also give you the benefits and provide some diagrams of using warrior in your yoga practices. I'll provide you some cautions and some contradictions that are very important to know if you are to practice that type of yoga. We'll do a little break from there, and at the end, we will practice. So half of it's going to be lecture, probably about 60% of it, and then the rest of it is execution of the actual asana. Of course, I will provide opportunities to ask questions if you have any along the way, but I do ask if you will please refrain until I prompt you towards later in the lesson. Um, or if we don't get to it and you want to message me directly, you can message me on my yoga page on Facebook at Yoga with George Ethan. Oh, good morning, Ellen. I didn't see you were here. I hope you're having a good day today, Miss Lipscomb. Let's see. So first, we're talking about warrior, Virabhadrasana. That's a mouthful, right? You warrior is. I'll go ahead and go over the who, what, when, where, and why. This concept. Warrior to me is strength. It is the epitome of being strong, having a solid foundation, rising up from the ground and to a powerful posture that incites heat, the breath, alignment. It's got so many different focuses of mindfulness that are beneficial to the body and the mind and the soul. Soul in yoga is considered the breath. But I think also it has such a fascinating history of where it's come from because it comes from stories. Like a lot of our knowledge in today and a lot of our how we see things come from like myths or fairy tales or even in religion through the Bible. We like a lot of our beliefs come from these stories that we are told. And I want to tell you the story of Virabhadra, the warrior that helped. I'll get into that later. He's a warrior who saves the day. And it's an Indian story. That's where it's rooted from. Um, so that's the where, and I will tell you a bit more on the who whenever I do the story. Um, what Virabhadrasana is? Well, I'll give you an example. That is warrior one that you're seeing displayed here. There is some benefits on the side, but it's also known as warrior pose. It strengthens the back, thighs, shoulders, arms, ankles, and calves. It stretches the following here as well. And now this is just I showed you this for the sake of the photo, not so much as the other sides, but that's a little bonus information on the side in case you're interested. But Virabhadrasana, warrior, and this is how it is shown during yoga practices. Where can you practice? This is anywhere. You can do it anywhere. There's a ground, or solid ground, or flat ground. And that's why I love yoga, because you can practice it anywhere, anywhen. It's so people say you have to be flexible to practice yoga. Well, yoga is flexible in itself, in the sense it can be done about anywhere. Excuse me. Okay. And my name's George, by the way. If anyone tunes in later, George Ethan Cox. I'm a yoga instructor, RYT 200 hours certified. I picked this practice because it is good for. It has a lot of benefits. Warrior does. It's been beneficial and symbolic in my life, and I think it will do the same for you or whoever likes to view this later on. So, without further ado, my main goal is I just want y'all to be able to grow your practice. I'm growing my practice every day, and to incite a little self-awareness as we get into these postures. I'd like you to think a lot about the concept of how these poses make you feel. Does it feel good? Do I feel stronger? Am I feeling a little hesitant? Why am I feeling that way? That kind of concept. So we'll go into the history to start. I'm going to start with a little yoga story time to give you a bit more foundational knowledge on where the warrior comes from. All right. Now, I will also preface that Virabhadrasana is good for all ages of practice. If you're a beginner or intermediate or more, but so no need to hesitate if you're wanting to try something new. Okay, so I'm off the page, so you might not be able to see me, but I'm going to show you what I'm looking at right here. Let's see, Chrome tab. Okay, we'll read together. All right. History of Virabhadrasana. We are more than familiar with the Virabhadrasana or warrior poses. They are a part of almost every yoga class in the world. Many poses in yoga have a story attached to them. According to Indian mythology, Brahma advised Lord Shiva to get married. Shiva was an eccentric and lived in the heavens. On earth, a beautiful daughter was born to King Daksha, and she was named Sati. Even as a young girl, Sati was a staunch devotee of Lord Shiva. When she reached a marriageable age, Brahma came to visit Daksha and blessed Sati to be wed to the mighty Lord Shiva, so that she only female companion. Sati began performing severe penances in order to win over Lord Shiva as her husband. Her whole being was concentrated on Shiva and nothing else. Meanwhile, in heaven, the gods were impressed with Sati's devotion. They approached Lord Shiva to accept Sati as his wife, and after some thought, he agreed to marry her. The couple were married with the blessings of all. They held a grand yagna, or religious ceremony, in Daksha's kingdom. Excuse me. When Daksha, very sorry. When Daksha entered the ceremonial ground, everyone except Lord Shiva stood up and bowed to him. Lord Shiva was superior to Daksha and did so to protect him. However, Daksha misunderstood and considered it as an insult and swore to take revenge on Lord Shiva. So, there's a little comic strip down here, but he planned a grand yagna and invited gods from all three worlds deliberately, leaving Shiva and Sati out. Sati found out and wanted to go anyway, so Shiva tried to convince her not to go since they were deliberately left out by Daksha. Sati ignored Shiva's words and went to attend the yagna. Yagna, again, it's a special ritual. Daksha humiliated and taunted Sati at the yagna, and the father and daughter got into a huge argument. Sati was deeply hurt that the one person she relied on had turned against her. She could no longer bear any more insults and declared that she would cast off her body since it was the only tied her to him. He meditated intensely and increased the fire within her so much that she burst into flames in front of everyone. With me so far, my friends? I know it's a lot. So basically, the gentleman who sent his daughter to be married with a god uh, misunderstood a god's blessing. This blessing insulted Daksha. So Daksha, through basically a ritual, and invited everyone but his daughter and his daughter's new Lord husband, Shiva. So she gets upset. She comes to the party, or the ritual rather, and tries to protest. And then her father gets upset, and the heat gets heated. She bursts in flames. Shiva's attendants, who were waiting outside, heard all that happened and started a fight. They were, however, defeated because of Sage Birgu and his demons, whom he called upon to fight Shiva's attendants. A terrible fight ensued between the two, and Shiva's attendants had to retreat. Shiva was furious. He plucked out a cluster of his hair and dashed it to the ground. It split into two, and one half became the powerful Virabhadra, and the other half the fierce goddess Kali. Lord Shiva commanded Virabhadra and Kali to destroy the sacrifice conducted by Daksha. When Virabhadra came to the site, he entered through the earth with both his swords facing upwards, and this became Virabhadrasana 1, bringing two swords up into the sky. He then assumed a threatening stance against Daksha and all around, which is Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. And finally, he beheaded Daksha and became Virabhadrasana 3, also known as Flying Warrior. Virabhadra threw Daksha's slain head into the ceremonial fire. Lord Shiva arrived at the site and was saddened by all the bloodshed he saw. Though he had grief in his heart, he transformed it into compassion and decided to bring Daksha back to life, as he had already learned his lesson about humanity and pride. Shiva found the head of a goat and brought Daksha back to life. Daksha bowed and surrendered himself to Lord Shiva and was allowed to complete the yagna that he had once started. Lord Shiva went into meditation until Sati, true to her word, was reborn as Parvati to Himavan, deeply loved and respected. She wooed and won Shiva, and the two lived and loved happily ever after. That's the story of Virabhadrasana. Next time you do this pose, think of the great history that made this pose all that it is today. Let's make it a habit to move away from muscles, insertions, and organs, and move towards the real stories and rich history that makes yoga special to millions of people around the world. I could have said it better myself. I think that's wonderful how that was put. I'm going to close that out now. So it's not insane. It was brought to you by Indian mythology. I am a big follower of Greek mythology and Roman mythology, but no, until I started practicing yoga, I was never into Indian mythology, but a lot of the yoga practices come from those stories. So Virabhadra was made from the hair of the Lord who wanted his wife back. And it came with a happy ending. Yoga doesn't actually follow violence very much at all. One of the first main things about people who practice yoga is it's nonviolent. There's a book called Yamas and Niyamas, and it's basic ethical principles. First concept is nonviolence. So even though it was a violent story, it had a happy ending. He brought back to life the father of the girl he loved, and then Lord Shiva then ended up having the daughter reincarnated, and they did end up together and have a happy ending. He brought life back. There was a lot of life made through Shiva in this story. And there's a lot of symbolism that we can nitpick and look into. I love that kind of stuff. But the point is to understand the history, so you understand the foundations of why the warrior is called the warrior. And Virabhadra is in Sanskrit the word for warrior. Are there any questions about this or comments about the story? I know that was a lot. We're only still in the first 20 minutes. I'm going to give it a couple minutes. If not, I'll move on. Up next, we're going to talk a bit more about the benefits of Virabhadrasana. Now, I have a couple of places here that are good sources for benefits. I'm pulling it up now. Here we go. Of course, Ellen. I love sharing this, and I'm learning along with you as I do research. So I'm glad that you're enjoying this. And thank you for being here today. Virabhadrasana is not an easy word to say either. So that in itself, it's impressive to be able to learn more about it. But carrying on, let's move on to benefits of this posture. So Virabhadrasana, that's Virabhadrasana 3. I'm going to show, and that's Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2, and Warrior 1, if you're looking on the screen with me. So we are on femina.in/wellness/fitness/Virabhadrasana, going over the benefits. This is a great page that has some awesome display of photos, and it provides you lots of benefits on what you can enjoy from practicing this. So benefits of Virabhadrasana: strengthens your back muscles, thighs, knees, ankles, and legs. This is Virabhadrasana 3, the balancing warrior. The balancing act improves coordination and focus. The core muscles are benefited from this asana. You need your core anytime you balance. Hip muscles, arms, and abdomen are toned, yes. Also, I'd like to point out that the hip muscles are also stretched. It relieves stiffness in the neck, shoulder, and back. Your focus is really on elongating the spine and maintaining alignment. So you have to release muscles in some areas, which in this case is neck, shoulders, and back, in order to maintain a balance. Otherwise, you'll fall over. I love how it says reduces stubborn fat from hips. Well, yes. But it does reduce fat from the hips. Before I practiced yoga regularly, I had love handles, and I still do to some point, but not as significant as before. But it is due to regular practice, and with anything, you have to practice regularly. That is just some of the benefits. There are some more here. Let's see. I had them in that other infographic there. Moving on, excuse me. And a fun fact, every Sanskrit name for every yoga pose ends with the word asana, which is the yoga word saying pose. So just fun fact, if you see a Sanskrit word, you'll see the word asana at the end. You're like, wow, I know what that means. Oh, I have to close this window. Excuse me 1 second, my friends. Okay, going back to this for benefits. It strengthens the human back, thigh, shoulder, arms, ankles, and calf. Stretches the thigh, shoulder, thorax, ankle, neck, calf, inguinal region, lung, and navel. Now, just be careful if you or friend has a hernia when practicing this. Just be mindful whenever you're doing this. There's lighter variations of this. You could also go for like a low, crescent lunge, or you could also simply practice with pigeon posture. There's a lot of ways to prep for this pose using Adho Mukha Shavasana, which is downward facing dog, or Virabhadrasana 2, which is warrior 2. But my main benefit from this Virabhadrasana, warrior 1, is it strengthens the legs and it stretches the stretches the ankle. My allergies this morning, y'all. Stretches the ankles. When you're either sitting in office or working standing all day, the legs get stiff and the ankles get stiff, which is so important to tend to your ankles and your feet as they carry us through our lives. Also, on a personal sense, Virabhadrasana is powerful for feeling internal strength, for building confidence. It's a great confidence pose. If you're doing a class that's centered around a certain concept, Virabhadrasana is great for just inner strength and confidence. Say the mantras: I am strong, I am able, I am here. I am, just I am, I exist. It's super powerful, and if it's something to meditate on, I really recommend it. If you ever want to practice on your own and you want to branch into a certain concept to guide your practice, Virabhadrasana is a great peak pose, which is used in most any yoga practice. Let's see, where else did I have some benefits listed? Step by step with benefits. There are benefits to each Virabhadrasana, each single one. They're because they all hit so many points. So I'm going to show you one more page with some benefits, and then we'll move on. Yeehaw. Okay, I think we're here. Awesome. Here's the benefits of Virabhadrasana 1, brought to you by dishabharat.org. So amazing benefits of Virabhadrasana 1. It's known to strengthen the tone, the lower back, the arms, and the legs. It stabilizes and balances the body as it increases its stamina. And so sometimes this practice is done, this pose, and this is the same one as earlier, this one. This pose is, it can be hard to beginners, but it's got so many benefits and you will feel it. But it's recommended to do about 20 seconds on each leg though. It's a great asana for those who work at a desk or are in a sedentary job, because it stimulates the metabolism as well as restores the spine, as it works to elongate the spine while you're also opening those hips. The asana helps ease out frozen shoulders. If you're anything like me, and for years where you were holding your body like so, it helps you kind of roll it back, opening the heart space, because you have to have your heart open in order to do this. It eases that up a lot, or incites a bit more mobility at least. Another benefit from Virabhadrasana 1 is it helps release stress from the shoulders almost immediately. As I just mentioned, this asana relaxes the mind, the body, spreading the notion of peace, courage, grace, and a sense of auspiciousness. Auspiciousness, huh? I can see that. It's everyone has their own personal experience with that pose, Virabhadrasana 1. To each their own. I get personal feel of confidence and inner strength when I do it. But the way it works as far as peace is concerned, when he's talking about inner peace, is when you work your body, you release a hormone called, I had it until I was about to say it. There's a hormone release that makes you happy, basically. Endorphins, yes. You release endorphins because it's a strength building pose, and whenever you're working the body like that, you're feeling a little wobbly, a little strength building right there. Your body's working, and using the breath to circulate the blood flow, you feel a bit more ease, a little inner peace. And good morning to anyone stepping in today. We're talking about the benefits of Virabhadrasana. There's a lot of them with each type of asana, but today's focus on warrior. So going forward, we've just talked about the benefits. We are actually okay, I'm going to go over next the precautions and contradictions, because that was what's next on my itinerary. So At the end of this, on the next half of the practice, we're going to actually practice, but it's so important to know about the precautions before because we don't want anybody to feel any type of pain or something that's going to keep them from doing their best. I'll go ahead and read these out to you again from dishabharat.com. .org. Number one, it is important to consult a doctor before you practice this asana, especially if you have a spinal problem or if you're recovering from a chronic illness. If you had a back injury or surgery, or if you even just fell on your back within the past couple of weeks and have not consulted a doctor, please do. If you're recovering from some sort of chronic illness of any sort, please be mindful. Rest is important. Don't do this posture unless you are absolutely feeling healthy. If you have shoulder pains, raise your arms and leave them parallel to each other instead of holding them above your head. So basically, it's just raising them forward, not up. You want to have them forward. If you have neck problems, you should not look up at your hands after you stretch them. Like so, you raise your hands forward and up, look forward, keep forward. Do not look up if you have neck issues. Pregnant women will benefit from this asana, especially if they're in their second and third trimester, but only if they've been practicing yoga regularly. Keyword, practicing yoga regularly. This must not be done under the guidance of their trainer and this must be done under the guidance of their trainer and with a doctor's permission. I can't stress this enough. If you're not certain if this is good for you, ask your doctor. I'm sorry, I come off a little strongly there, but your health and safety is number one every time when you're practicing something new. Yoga isn't known for being vigorous, but it does make your body move in ways that's probably not used to. And in doing so, it could, I wouldn't say be dangerous, but it's enough to draw caution. Like if you suffer from knee pain or have arthritis, you may want to use a wall or a chair to do the Virabhadrasana. The way you would do it with a wall is for Virabhadrasana 1 is basically you use your hands to hold yourself on the wall while you bend your knee down. And with the chair, right under your coccyx would be where you rest. Your hips. And finally, people suffering from heart problems or high blood pressure should avoid this asana. So if you have heart problems, high blood pressure, something that is to that nature, it is best to avoid that asana. There are options other than that asana to practice that are a bit more capable of bringing ease. With that said, my friends, we've gone over some contradictions. I think we have a couple of more here. Let me check it out. I think that's it, yeah. So we went over the benefits and the cautions and contradictions. We're only 30 minutes in. So with that said, I actually went over this a lot quicker than I anticipated, which is why I said we'll need like over an hour to 2 hours. But I got done through it a little quickly this morning. So I am going to let us take a little break. We talked about the history. We talked about the benefits. We also talked about the story and roots of the phrase of Virabhadrasana. And we also discussed the cautions and contradictions for this practice. So wear something comfortable, put on something that you like to wear that's loose and that you're able to move in. And we're going to transition in about 10 minutes to practice the asana. This will take about 30 minutes, I assume. But I'm going to give us a 10-minute break. I'll put a little caption on saying we're on a 10-minute break, and then we'll return. But first, are there any questions at all that you'd like to ask me? Okay. Well, then, with that said, I'm going to close my camera and, well, just the camera part. You'll still be able to listen to the music go up because I have music in the background. So enjoy, and I'll be back in 10. Alrighty, my friends, I'm back. So, we're about to start the practicing portion. You may not be able to see me as well because I'm on my laptop. Oh, shout out to my ring light here. I might not be as viewable right now because I'm on my laptop, which does not carry a zoom or unzoom option, and my phone does. That usually does the recordings. Let's move this over here. But we'll go ahead and get started. If you don't have a mat rolled out, go ahead and roll it out. Wear something comfortable. We'll begin. Okay. And a shout out from Ariana Williamson with Looks Recovery. She's messaged me and she wishes she was here. I wish she was here too. Alrighty. So remember the contradictions. If you have high blood pressure or heart problems, please avoid this asana, but feel welcome to observe. If you have any issues with your knees, use a chair or a wall to guide you. And we're going to go ahead and get started. So we're going to start with Uttanasana. Uttanasana. It is chair pose. So have your feet apart, right underneath your hips. Foundation is so important here. And start simply by wiggling the toes while standing. You want to be able to feel completely at balance if you can lift your toes off the ground. From here, I invite you, swoop your arms forward, up and back, inhale. You don't have to look up, just have your hands parallel. Open them out wide like you're holding a big beach ball. Give yourself plenty of space here. Breathe, look forward. And exhale, we bend the knees nice and gently. You don't want your knees to bend over your toes, so start bringing your hips back a little bit. You start noticing yourself sinking a little bit, keeping an integrity in the spine nice and long as we go down, steeping down deeper and deeper, leading with your tailbone. Down and back, down and back. Maybe you look forward into your palms, in the middle of your palms. Knees still not going over your toes. You want to ground down all four corners of the feet. Find a little buoyancy, just a little bit. Keep breathing, you got this. And then we exhale, fold. Allow your belly to cascade over your thighs. Inhale, we halfway through. Exhale, we fold. Now that's one way to go into chair pose. The other way is from forward fold. You just run forward fold, sweep your arms forward. Look and peer in to kind of dip your tailbone down. And we are in chair pose. We breathe here. Thumbs pull up ever so slightly. Inhale, we lift, rocket ship up all the way to high mountain or volcano pose. You can put your hands together. Exhale, hands to heart. Breathe in and out. Now, if you want to take this opportunity to roll your head from one side to another, you can. Breathing in, head reaches one way. Exhale, the head releases forward. Inhale the other way. Fantastic. From here, go ahead and do a wide-legged mountain pose. Like normal mountain pose, your toes are parallel, but you're facing the long edge of the mat this time. Toes are parallel. We're going to start by pivoting our right toes to our right side. Legs still straight, nice and straight. Make sure you have a good foundation here. You want all four corners of both feet to be glued to the mat here. So from here, you want to take your fist, place them onto your hip points, pivot your hips so they're shining forward to the short edge of the front of the mat. And then you want to take your back ankle, pivot it so your toes are at a 45-degree angle with that front foot. So think your back foot is reaching towards the front left corner of your mat. and your front toes are focused towards the flat edge. Legs are still straight. Keep doing this. Hands on your hips for guidance. You want them nice and even. You want to rotate. Maybe you can bring your hand to your torso and pulls like you're smearing honey onto your torso, and bring it over to right to where it's facing the front. All right, take a breath in, reach up towards the sky, hands parallel. But if that's too much, you can keep them forward. And exhale, bend that front knee, bend into the asana. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Find a buoyancy here. Find some lightness. Keeping the back foot rounded. Really ground down with that outer edge of the back foot. Looking forward. And bend the front knee. Keeping your hips nice and even. If you want to keep your hands here for guidance, that's okay. Swooping your arms forward and up. Maybe you look up into your palms. Open your hands a little wider. Give your shoulder plenty of space. Breathe here. So important to maintain your breath. Breathe deep, my friend. You're doing awesome. Maybe you want to go a little deeper. The asana. Keep that alignment in the body with your spine. Dip down a little with your tailbone. Head over heart, heart over pelvis. And then exhale, hands to heart. We straighten that front leg, pivot that front foot to be parallel with the back foot, and we are back in our standing wide mountain. Breathe here, inhale, and exhale. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, we fold, wide-legged forward fold this time. You can inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Maybe you want to grab a block here or a book to support you at this time. If not, just allow your head to fold forward. Slight micro bend in the knees. Shake your head yes, maybe a little no. Maybe you plant that right palm, reach your left hand up towards the sky. This is just for a little hip stretch right here, lower back stretch. And lower, switch, inhale, raise the right hand up this time. Exhale, lower, inhale, halfway lift, your version. And we fold, exhale. And then inhale, reach all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart. Great. This time, my friends, pivot that left toe, left step toes to your left, to the short front edge of the mat. Keep your legs nice and straight. And then pivot your back toes 45 degrees counterclockwise. Smear that honey to the left from your chest. And then make sure your hip points are nice and even. To check, imagine you have two headlights. These are your fists. And put them on your hip flexors. Make sure they're nice and forward. Maybe you put your hands on your hips for extra support. If not, you go ahead and reach your hands up. Inhale. Exhale, bend that front knee. Bend into it. Make sure all four corners on both feet are grounded. If you are having trouble here, maybe you can move that back foot up just a hair. But if you're comfortable, you can keep it back here. As long as all four corners of the feet, both sides, are in. Inhale, straight. Pull thumbs back. Exhale, lower. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, lower down. Excellent. Remember those hip points. Keep your heart open. Look forward or up. Maybe your arms are forward. Maybe you have a wall beside you to hold you. Imagine the strength that takes to be here. Whisper to yourself, I am strong. Now, a good way to go into this pose is whenever you're practicing your sun salutations. From your mountain pose, you can transition just going wide-legged. Or from mountain pose, you can bring one leg back and go that way. Awesome. We're in Warrior One, and we're going to go ahead and transition from Warrior One to Warrior Two because that's my favorite way to transition. Front knee bent, back foot stays. So from the waist down, your body does not change. And except for your right hip and left hips are now focused on the long edge of the mat instead of the short edge. So hands are up in the sky, hips facing forward. Rotate that hip out, opening the arms out wide. You lower down, Warrior Two. Hip flexors on this side, head over your heart over your pelvis. And have our arms outstretched. You want to look beyond your pointer finger, like you're trying to gaze all the way around the world, like you're looking at the back of your head. Or imagine just like a very same version of you right in front of you, like you're making a chain and you're looking at that. Chain of Warrior Twos. Wouldn't that be cool? Warrior Two. It's good for balance. It's good for strengthening so much in the body. I'm feeling it in my ankle right now. You can inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend the front knee. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend the front knee. Awesome. So from here, we're going to cartwheel down to a high lunge, pivot that back foot, plant the right palm, and we raise the left hand up to the sky. Exhale, plant palm. Find a nice little bend in the back knee. Find some buoyancy and hippity hop that back knee all the way up to the top until it meets your left foot rather. Hit the inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And inhale, reach all the way up towards the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Now your feet can be really together or they can be hip width apart. It's up to you. But for the sake of this practice, we're going to keep them together. Inhale, reach up, feet together, really together. Zip up through the leg line. And exhale, hips dip down. Little by little, bend the knees. We're going into our Utkatasana, our chair pose. Heart opens, you look forward, you got this, breathe. And exhale, we fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Plant the palms. You want to bring that left foot back this time. Go ahead and keep it parallel. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, relax shoulders. Ground yourself. Inhale, swoop the arm forward, up and back. Keep your right foot to the right of the center line and left foot to the left of the center line. And from here, go ahead and move that back foot up just a hair so you can plant that back heel and ground it for Warrior One. So we're back in Warrior One. We're using Warrior One once again to transfer into Warrior Two. From here, you just simply rotate yourself to your left. Open your arms out wide. Look beyond that pointer finger for Warrior Two. Ground through all four corners of the feet. Keep that foundation. Breathe here. You got this. It's all in the breath. When in doubt, use your breath. Incite mindfulness of your foundation. Incite mindfulness with your strength of your legs, your torso, your arms. And we're going to use Warrior Two to transition to our next set of warriors, our peaceful warrior. So from here, it's really easy. You inhale, you reach forward, stretch that right arm, flip the front hand, drop the back, flip up and over. Maintaining a longevity in the right side body, but also integrity in the left. So you don't want to collapse into the left side body. You want to just simply feel the stretch to the right, while still keeping an open heart. Breathe, look into your right hand. Keep that front knee bent. You got this. And then exhale, we rotate and cartwheel all the way over. At this point, you could have the option to do a right side angle if you're interested. Simply put, you could put your right arm onto your right thigh and extend your left hand up and beyond. But for me, I'm going to rotate that back foot, make them parallel again. Plant the right palm to the left of the foot. Extend the left hand up to the sky. Fantastic. And since I'm in this position, I'm going to drop that left hand. And bring my front foot to the back this time, lower all the way down, and we'll cobra. Inhale, look up for cobra. Exhale, release. Press up to all fours. And we're going to all meet in downward facing dog so we can do our last warrior, our warrior 3. Peel the hips up towards the sky. And walk your feet up to the top. Feet together, really together. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Keep a nice, generous bend in the knees and inhale slowly. We're going to roll all the way up to the top. Mountain pose. Breathe here, my friends. Fantastic. Is everyone good so far? Looks like we're good. And then we're going to use that to transition to our final warrior, our warrior 3. So warrior 3 is a balancing posture. It's good for strengthening the back, neck muscles, the shoulders. It's good for balancing and building the legs. Here's how I would prefer to teach how to start this. Keep your feet together, really together. Zip up through the midline here. Engage that center of gravity. We're going to inhale, reach our arms up, but this time bring our right leg up with us. Exhale, slide that toe back, that right toes to the back. Now your toes can just simply touch the mat, and then you find yourself leaning forward with your torso, reaching forward. This may be your warrior 3. Now keep a buoyancy in the front and back knees. Just keep like a little bounciness here. That's the main thing. You want to keep it light and buoyant. If you find it, if you keep stagnant in this pose, it's more likely you will fall. So try to find some fluidity here. Keep your arms in line with your ears. Your back toes touch. Your left foot nice and grounded. All 4 corners really grounded in the feet. And if your front knee bends, keep it. Don't let it go beyond your front toes. Maybe your back toes lift. Your heel reaching up towards the sky. You're finding a focal point with your eyes looking forward. You're kicking that left foot up. If you fall, that's okay. We will catch you. If you want to stay just with your toe on the ground, and that's all your warrior 3 is, that's wonderful. Keep it that way. But if you're feeling adventurous, you can lift that back ankle ever so slightly. If you want, you can do airplane arms. Arms pulling back to a triangle like they're meeting at a point right here. And you pull that ankle back ever so slightly. Breathe here. And then we drop that back foot. You hop that back foot forward. Shake that left leg. Wonderful. We're going to do this on the other side now. Now you can either just rotate to the right, or you could do it on the same side of the mat. Everyone's a little different. You want to face this way. So we did, we stood on our left foot. This time we're going to do it on the right foot. So we're going to inhale, breathe in, reach up. Exhale, trust, slide your left toes back. Keep a little buoyancy here. Your right foot, the right side of your mat, your left foot on the left side. Notice your center of gravity. Hip points shining forward. Maybe we lean forward. Maybe that toe lifts, maybe it doesn't. Maybe we keep leaning forward. Maybe our heels lift. Keeping a buoyancy in that front knee, you got this. Look forward, find a focal point or drisky. Breathe deep here. Activating the abdominals. Nice neutral spine. You got this, my friends. Find a little lift in the thumbs. Breathe, breathe, breathe. You got this. Couple more seconds. Breathe. Shoulders lift, thumbs lift, heart lifts, and we bring that back foot down. Lift the arms up, and exhale, hands to heart. Bring that back foot up to the front. Shake that right foot. Shake it off. Doing wonderful. And we breathe for a few moments. In gratitude, acknowledging that we took time for ourselves today to grow our practice. Bring your chin to your chest. And in gratitude, we say together, silently or aloud, Namaste. The light in me honors and values life in you. And we conclude that part of the practice. And that was a crash course in Virabhadrasana. No, it was a lot in a small amount of time. I actually expected this to take a little longer, but y'all made it easy for me. I'm glad that you're here just to absorb the knowledge. It's a lot of good knowledge too. I like to get to teach this every single week if I can. I'm actually no longer going to be doing exclusive online classes moving forward. Starting next week, we'll be doing classes live. I realized I said I was going to, I never changed the thing saying that we're back from break, but I apologize. With that said, I just want to let y'all know that I will be teaching classes again weekly in person starting next week, with the exclusion of May the 15th or 14th, second weekend of May. I'll be at the beach, but I'll be posting an awesome yoga at the beach video. With that being said, I'm honored to get to teach this to y'all every single week. It's an honor to get to serve this community that I love so much. And I'm honored that you're here and you've taken time out of your day to get to see me and say hello. This is, again, was supposed to be a 2-hour workshop. So, but going over everything, I didn't really have much to have to elaborate on. So I just appreciate your patience. And if you have questions or anything that you want to discuss going forward, or any ideas you want to see happen so you could incorporate your life into yoga a bit more, please let me know. You can follow me on my Facebook webpage, Yoga with George Ethan, or find me on Facebook, George Ethan Cox, or message at Wilkes Recovery Revolution's Facebook page. They're the reason why I am here. They're the reason why this is all possible and that these free classes and workshops are available. Ellen, that is an excellent question. They are in West Park Medical Square. We have them outside, but if it rains, we take the course into Wilkes Recovery Revolution's abode. That is on, okay, well, assuming it's sunny and nice outside, you want to meet at the flagpole at the very center of West Park Medical Square. Meeting weekly at 10 a.m. West Park Square at the flag pole. Or at I wrote it out just in case. And the reason why we did online classes for this long is because it's been cold and wintry and gross, but it's finally warming back up. And we're able to get back into a normal schedule out there. So I'm really excited to get to teach again. And I would love to see you there, Ellen. If you want to message me any ideas or anything you want to see with yoga or any type of class you would like to see, I would love your feedback. My angle with teaching is to make yoga accessible to everybody. I mean everybody. I want to learn all the contradictions and all the cautions so everyone feels safe. And I want to make yoga accessible. And that's why I do this weekly, because it's free and available for all who are searching for it. With that said, I think that's all I got for right now. But again, I'm absolutely honored to get to teach y'all. If you have questions, please send me a message. I'm about to hop off here for now, but have a beautiful week. I hope to see y'all next week. And then if you don't catch me next week, come back in 2 weeks from there, and I'll be teaching in person again. But thanks for being here for yourself. Thank you for being here. It supports me. It makes my day to teach y'all. And I just hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and a fantastic weekend. Till next time, my friends, take care.